Good day, guys. This is FxMosako, founder and CEO of FxMosako. So this is my weekly analysis. I don't like trading on Mondays most of the time, so I was able to now, have time to do the analysis on Tuesday, which are still very valid. Without wasting any further time, press the subscribe button and the like button and the notification button to always be alerted, and also so our content can get to more people. As if it's helping you, I'm for sure it's going to help other people. So without wasting any further time, let's get into it. So I always start with the DXY, which is the dollar currency index. So basically how this one works is that if it goes up on most pairs where the US dollar is, maybe like the Euro USD, you would be selling the euro, you will be selling GBP and selling gold, right? But then if it's going down, you are most likely going to be buying euro, selling GBP, and buying gold. So basically, what I have here on my setup here, as you can see, I'm just going to widen it up and look at the long term of how the long term it has been. It has been touching this resistance level here and bouncing back to the support level and bouncing back up to the same resistance level, and also it did the same here, but also it pushed through this resistance to touch the other resistance, which I'm accommodating it for this touches here, you understand? Because if I had put this one only, I wouldn't have been able to notice the market coming to hit this levels here. You understand? And I used it as a confirmation, once upon a time, obviously, which was like around March or April. You understand? So now, like we always do, we go to the current market. We don't like watching what has been happening throughout the whole year. We want to watch what has been happening within a couple of months, the last maybe 2 months, which would be like the last 8 weeks, and then we trickle it down to recently what has been happening. And you can see this is a beautiful double bottom formation, and price really did what it does most of the times. It formed the structure. After forming the structure, it touched the neckline, went down, and wasn't able to break it at first. It went down, retraced, then it broke out. So after breaking out, I put this level here of resistance because I take it as my higher highs, you understand, and price needs to break this higher highs to confirm that we are going to continue going to the upside. So now, looking at what price did when it got here, price wicked on this resistance level a couple of times. It wicked and it wicked and went down. And what I love about this structure is that with every double top or double bottom structure, price will always need to break through but then come back to retest the neckline, and that will show you a continuation of price. And that's what has happened. And what is beautiful is I love this candlestick. It's not a hammer per se, but to me, because it shows me such a wick whereby the sellers wanted to be control, but then the buyers ended up coming in and being in control. And what's great is also it wicked on our neckline right here, which for me shows great confirmation of going to the upside. And obviously, knowing in the bigger time frame when it's going up, you're certainly going to look for buy positions in the lower time frame. And as you can see, I was able to make this channel, right? I was able to see this channel, which has first touch here on the resistance. Let me just move it. Oh, forgive me. Let me just extend it so I can select it. Isn't it agreeing? And just put it here just to show you all the second touch. So now what I know is I'm in a double top structure, I'm in a double bottom structure, and also the double bottom structure was able to play out. You see, here's the breakout and here's the retest, and also it made me be able to see this beautiful channel, which also not guarantees but gives me confidence that it's still going to go to the upside. And as you can see, we have one touch on the resistance and the second touch. We have the first touch on the support and the second touch. And look how they all react every time they do get to these levels. And what is beautiful is it gave us a shooting star. I think it's a shooting star here, as you can see here, which I would always take, guys. If I had put my stop loss here, I would take it to the downside. Then also here, I would have put in my stop loss here and bought until the top. Same thing goes here, but then this I was going to be taken out because, as you can see, price ended up going and touching that high, right? And it would have taken me out. And this was a beautiful minor double top, and it continued to the downside. And as you can see as well, guys, price went up to test these levels here, as you can see here. Then it went down. Then now it wants to continue going up. And this gives me a great confirmation that the dollar wants to get some strength until getting to these levels. And hopefully it does. If it does break this resistance here, we can hopefully, and it doesn't reject, like it breaks through and doesn't reject and continues going up, it could be a sign of a continuation of a strong dollar. So now I use my 4 hour and my hour. I use daily 4 hour and my hour to get into entries, and mostly daily is for me to catch the lows, and the 4 hour and 1 hour is just to get the patterns that are happening within the overall structure. And you can see I placed the structure of resistance here, which at the start of the week, it was able to go above and break and come back. But as you can see, we have a young wedge, falling wedge structure here, and that's what happened. I mean, a falling wedge, and it went down to come test these levels here. So I would have been, if I had taken this trade, as you can see, I would have been taken out. But it wasn't a high probability trade per se, because I just wanted to see if price had respected this, it would have continued to come test this resistance here. So now this gives me a proper perspective of, when I come to this lower time frames, I'm still in a, I feel like I'm still in an overall buy position, because price touched this support and it's going up. And obviously when you're using your channel and your trend lines, there's always 3 touches on those lines that need to happen, if not more. So I'm expecting a third touch of the resistance right here before. If it doesn't come here, it'll probably come test here, like I said, and probably reject, or the candlestick will come through, close above, and obviously the second one will just retest the resistance and go and give us a third touch. So with that, it gives me a bias when I go to the currencies that I'm looking to sell. And now when I come to EURUSD, let me just fix it. When I come to EURUSD, long-term structure, as you can see how it is going. The higher highs, higher low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. But this is just to give me an idea of what's been happening. But me, my focus is in the current market right now as we speak. And this is a pattern I've been waiting to play out for the longest time. I see this formation here, which is a double top, right? You can see it here. It went up, went down, did the neckline, went up and came back down. And what is beautiful about this structure is that it broke through and it retested, it went up, and look at how it wicked on the neckline. You understand? So this gives me confidence that it could be continuing to the downside. You understand? So now I'm going to the lower time frame just to give me a proper perspective of what is happening. And also, I'm not naive to the fact that we got a touch here, it reacted and went up, and we got a touch here and price reacted and went up. So this is something I'm just have to be aware of, because also look at this candlestick, guys. This was the wick, how it wicked, and then in the higher time frame, and this was the candlestick it gave us. And such candlesticks always just need to be filled up a bit before it initially continuing to go to the downside. So what I did was that, for the way I'm going to enter is I'm going to try giving price space and try entering here, because as you can see now, it's in a retracement. It's retracing. It's retracing. So it's retracing for me, trying to fill up this area here. And now I don't want to enter here. I would have entered here, but I wasn't there. So I don't also want to enter here, because if I do enter here, look what could have happened. Price would have taken what would have went to the upside, and I would have been in drawdown. So just to make extra sure, I've put in my position below this retracement, right? And it looks like an extended retracement, not like a normal one, because you get retracements that are very small and nice, which you can enter, but then you get ones that are overly extended. So like, let me make an example. This would have been a beautiful retracement, like right here. As you can see, it's very small. I'm gonna just right there to show you guys here. Very small, you see, and it would have been great to enter this one, and it will continue to the downside. But then, as you can see, like with normal retracements and like corrections for continuation patterns to whatever direction, this would be the ideal ones to go for. But then also sometimes you get an overextended correction, and I feel like this is one of them. But always, guys, as much as I said it is a double top formation that is happening, I can see this support line here, where every time price touched here, it reacted. Every time it touched here, it reacted. So I am aware of that. And here is my support. You understand? My support. Just based off this wick right here. This wick right here. Because looking here, it's one of the most valid supports that I can see. You understand? One of the most valid ones that I can see. And I don't want to, like, because I've been doing this for so long, I don't need to go back and try finding a lot of touches. Like, just this one touch for me and the wick is enough, you know? Because also, like I said, guys, this happened when? In March, you know? So I don't want to focus too much on it, but it just gives me a basis point of area of strong support, you understand? And also here, this could be an area of support as well. You understand? Of support as well, because look at how price has reacted. But then I don't want to clutter my chart, so I'm going to take it out and just be comfortable with this structure here. And I would love price to impulsively go through here, you know, and it will take me out. And after taking me out, I don't know, I just don't feel like it might come back here. But I'm not a fortune teller. I'm just predicting opportunities that might arise, and I want to take those opportunities. So going down, you guys have just got the gist of how I want to enter. And as you can see now, I used the what do you call this, Fibonacci retracement, right, from here until there, right? And y'all know the golden area is this is the 0.50 and 0.61. So price, look how it rejected here. So price just might continue and come back here, hit this, and continue to go down. And if you guys want a tutorial on Fibonacci, do tell me so, and I'll just tell you that I'm still learning properly how it works. You know, I wouldn't say I have 100% understanding of it, but I have the gist of, you know, if it gets to a certain level, like a 0.61, it reacts. If it gets to one of these levels, it reacts. Look how it reacts here, look how it reacts there, and look how it reacts. So these levels are levels of reaction, you understand? So as you can see, when you go to the lower time frame, this seems like a correction, you know? This looks like a correction, right? And we know when corrections like this happen, price will end up going down, right? So now we have a great bias of the fact that I said on the higher time frame, this has to be filled up to a certain extent before having a continuation to the downside. And this is a great continuation sign, you understand? It's a very beautiful correction, which hopefully it will respect structure or respect the rules that, you know, I have learned, and will go to the downside, and like I said, trigger me out. So with this, if I can look for an early trade, right, I can just put price here and do this, put price here just for an early trade, and then take it down and just go to the daily and take it down until the support, right? And what's beautiful is it gives me 3:1 risk ratio, more even, you understand, more. So I could enter there if I want to catch it early before initially coming here. And now we're going to go to the 1 hour, you know. So as you can see, structure is looking beautiful, guys. Very, very beautiful. Very beautiful, you know. And I've seen the structure so many times that I truly believe in it, you know. And it won't always be perfect like this. It won't always be perfect the way, you know, people make it seem like it has to be a rectangle, you know. It has to be like that, you know. But I need to respect these levels here, because anything can happen. And as you can see, guys, you have a double top here, a potential double top. So I know if price does reject this level and it doesn't pass here, it could continue going to the downside. So that just gives me an edge in my trading, you know. So I don't like going to the 15-minute time frame. I just use it if I'm in the market and the market has gotten to a certain level over by, like, I would like to be in the market to observe and be able to take trades. So if I had set my levels around maybe around here, around here, I know an alert will just tell me start watching your chart so that you can get those perfect entries you want. So that is it for EURUSD. I'm looking for sells, and if it does you know, continue with its buys, I'll definitely start changing my perspective and aligning it with what the market is doing. But for now, I'm confident with buys and I'm sticking with it. So now we're gonna go to GBPUSD, and GBPUSD is just similar. It's the same. You understand? It's similar to me. And with GBPUSD, it's been in a channel, right? Sell confirmations for me, which I didn't sell, unfortunately, but I'm glad I was right. You know, the market ended up doing what I saw, you know, which is rejection, wait for correction, reversal candlestick, then a double top formation on the daily. Then I'm going to trigger it. As you can see, price came up, touched this level here, came back down, went up again, and this will be known as a double top. And they won't always be perfect, guys. That's one thing that's for sure. It won't always be perfect. So stop trying to look for perfect one. But it does make sense, because what is one touch here? It went down and came back up and did a touch again, and it gives us an undecisive candlestick. Well, also I take it as a reversal candlestick, because whichever side of it, especially, you know, this reversal candlesticks only work if it's at a substantial resistance or support, you understand. And you can see here, this is a valid resistance level, and it happens at a resistance level. So any candlestick that comes after it, you know, I could have entered here and taken this trade here and went further down with it, you understand. So now I can see, okay, this is my resistance, and looking at my support, I'm gonna use this here, and look how it has been reacting. And also this beautiful candlestick here, which reacted on the same, which can give me an extra confirmation, which is great. You see, this confirmation is what, you know, gives me the edge that, okay, this is a valid resistance and support. So now I know where I'm at within the market. So now when I enter into the market, one touch, this is a channel, one touch on the support, second touch on the support, one touch, second touch, third touch, right? And it made a beautiful double top, but it couldn't finish and come here, but I could see it, you understand. And sometimes the double tops won't always break through and retest. It won't happen like that. And you see how I said this was gonna happen? Imagine I had taken this, even, you know, I can go even extra and say this is the left of the double top went down, and this is the right, and I would have taken a trade here and went down with it. So this week I saw that, okay, this is just going to be a continuation of this whole channel structure, and I put this line here, which was the support at the time, right? And I'm like, if it does break through here, I can confirm that it still wants to continue to the downside to give us a third touch. And what is beautiful is the support is near the channel support, so that just gives me an extra beautiful confirmation of my bias. You understand? So now I'll go to the lower time frame. I'm in the market actually. I got triggered, guys. You can check my Telegram. I am triggered. I am in the trade. So I am happy so far that it is going according to plan. So I could have entered around these levels here. Like, this is a beautiful candlestick. I would have entered here, but I wasn't there. I missed out, and it went down. It retraced. I could have also entered around here, but I wouldn't typically enter because I look for these candlesticks right here. See, this one's here with the wick, and then the body below. Those are the candlesticks that I love, like this one here as well, you know. So I wouldn't have per se entered here, but you know, sometimes you just might force, but I don't like forcing anymore. But here it is as well. Here it is as well. You know, I could have used this one, could have entered here, put my stop loss just above here, which I always risk like 35. My minimum is 35, but sometimes, you know, I could take it to maybe 45. Like my maximum is 35 pips, nothing less. So yeah, I would have been able to take this candlestick here if I was able to observe it, because also it touched the support of the structure here, right? It broke out, retested, and continued. So it would have been great, and here would have just been me scaling in. You understand? So price, I'll just wait for it to keep on going and going, and if it gives us any retracements, I will try scaling in again until we get to the bottom here. And we got a 5:3 risk ratio, which I'm more happy about, because looking long term, obviously we're trying to win 3 times more and lose 1 time. You understand? So in terms of probability, if a setup I take it maybe 10 times in a row and I lose 6 and lose 4, I'm still profitable because I won 3 times on most of this, on all 6 trades. You understand? But your risk and reward ratio won't always be the same, but we always aim for 3:1. So you want to win 3 times and lose 1 time. Yes, so that is it for GBPUSD. And you know, I'm not honestly planning, like, in terms of managing it right now. I don't want to do anything as yet. I don't want to do anything. I want price to just continue, maybe around this levels here. This, you see where the price has been reacting here, especially here, because it's significant to this line. Maybe here, that's when maybe I can start you know, taking my stop loss off and getting into a risk trade, and you know, just securing some profits and wanting to, you know, get as much as I can out of the market, you know, because it's an opportunity it gave me and I'm in it, and I want to make sure that, you know, I take as much as I can from it. So now we're going to go to gold. Gold, it hasn't triggered me yet. It hasn't triggered me as of yet. And as you can see, I hate such clutter, but you know, to me it just makes sense, because it just makes me be able to know where I'm at, you know. So as you can see, I have a larger as you can see, like, it has hit the higher high, all-time high, and it's been going down, right? But then it hit this higher low, right, and made a lower high. So now we're just waiting for lower lows, because no, actually, yeah, this is a lower low, because now this was a higher high, higher low, lower high, lower low, lower high, then waiting for it to break through this level. But as you can see, it has been fighting. So now also it has been failing to break this resistance level here, as you can see, multiple times. And now it has come and hit this area of support, and went up. And this is a beautiful continuation pattern to the downside, you understand? So now, as I can see, this is some sort of a head and shoulder. It looks like a head and shoulders. You see, this is the left shoulder, this is the head, this is the right shoulder, you know. But then I didn't trade it. I don't think I traded it from the previous week. So now I'm not trying to confuse you guys with what I did last week. I'm trying to tell you guys what I did this week. So in looking at structure went up, went down, went up, touched the resistance, went down, touched this resistance, and look how it reacted. Look how it reacted here, and look how it reacted here. It failed, it failed, it failed, it failed. And look at this beautiful candlestick. If I was able to be there, oh, I would have taken this candlestick and I would have been in profit. And what I'm looking at now is pricing that I would have been able to scale in. With this, I sometimes don't go to the weekly or monthly to really check the direction, as like I said, I'm trying to trade what is happening in the current market. So now, as you can see, we were in a channel. It was one touch, two touch, went up, gave us a second touch on the resistance, and gave us a third touch, gave us a fourth touch, fifth touch, many touch, and it broke through, gave us a beautiful triple top, or you can take this out and say a double top. And look what it did. It broke out this structure. Sometimes it may not go and do the third touch like we expected to, but look at this horizontal resistance here, whereby it respected and it never continued going up. It came down, broke out, now it's doing a retest, and that's what I'm basing my gold trade on this retest of this support and resistance. Now you understand, this was a support, now it's in resistance. So now this is still resistance and this is resistance, so our support is here. So that's what I was basing my overall trade here off. And what is beautiful is also here, this you can say it's a hammer, but also I look at it as a doji because I understand what my candles mean, meaning that this wick was buyers trying to gain strength, right? But they failed to. And here, this was the sellers as well. They failed to, but they were able to come like into almost, half and half, or 50-50. Then after coming to a 50-50, we get this candlestick, which is a bearish, you understand? So now we're going to go to the lower time frame. And this is a beautiful structure, guys, and I'm waiting to just be knocked in when it impulses trying to complete this. And when it does, we hope that it will not only complete this structure, but it will also aim to come to this support here, and that will be a beautiful, beautiful trade. We would have taken a lot from the market, which is always great to do. So now I'm just waiting for price. As you can see, I put this on this structure here because also it's the same thing. It's a channel either way, one touch, second touch, third touch, fourth touch. So now it's like, you know what, instead of entering like just around here, let me just enter here, and I know here price will just push me into the market, trigger me into the market, and go to the downside, which I'm very comfortable with. That I'm very comfortable with how I'm willing to risk this. As I can see, a double top that has happened. As you can see, price failed twice, you know what I'm saying? So I am confident, and I know that price might not go there, but this is just prediction, guys. And if it does respect what I'm saying, we are eating, you understand? Which is always the aim. I'm not a fortune teller, like I said. And your GBP, I'm done with as you can see, I made it on this one. I won't lie, this was when, guys, I had to take a break. I blew my account here, right? I won't lie. This was just me fixing and seeing what I could have done way proper. Because this was a trade given out by my friend, Mr. Dave Financials. You can check him out on Telegram and in Instagram. He made me because I don't trade EURGBP. These are like my top 3. You understand? These are like my top 3 that I like trading. You understand? Also with my indices, but I didn't put them here. as those are indices and these are currencies. And me, when I see a great opportunity from whichever trader in the world, I take it. You understand? If it goes with the alignment of how I trade, I take it. And basically, he saw that this was a, you know, a structure. It's a wedge, right? A falling wedge. And you know, every time you check a falling wedge, I think I might confuse a rising wedge with a falling wedge. So please do forgive me about that. So now, price went down, and after price going down, it's going up. And the way it's going down, right, this structure, it's a rising wedge. So now we're expecting it was one touch. This is the second touch on a beautiful support. So we want price, we're hoping price will come back and touch this level here. And that's what I saw, that's what I think he saw, and that's what I also said here. And it was on the 26th of October, right? Falling wedge on the 1 hour time frame on major support, a hammer reversal candlestick, right? So I'm going to delete this now. Actually, no, I'm going to keep it as just like a evidence in my data for the future. So now I don't even want to go to the higher time frames, okay, let's just go for this sake. Beautiful candlestick, guys. You see, if I was able to be patient enough and did it correctly, I would have, if I managed my stuff well, I would have been able to catch this rejection here and been able to go with price until here. Imagine, guys, this is a beautiful candlestick showing that the buyers wanted to be in control, the sellers wanted to be in control, but inevitably the sellers were in control during the week. But at the end of the week, price started shooting up, and it was just in a correction, guys. As you can see from the previous week, from the week before this one, it was in the same area. So this would have been a great area for scalpers, for a swing trader, and maybe an intraday trader. But for a swing trader, this isn't actually ideal. This isn't ideal. But also it will depend on how you are able to stack up, how your risk management is, and how you're looking at your risk to reward ratio. You understand? So yes, now we go to the lower time frame. As you can see, we have a hammer, beautiful hammer, guys. And you see, if I had waited and patiently waited and risked properly without scaling in like I'm crazy, I would have entered a beautiful trade. And price never went below that. Imagine, and it is 30 pips. I risked 35 pips, and it's 30 pips. I would have been in a beautiful trade going in. But for the next time, this is just for next time. Now I know, patience and just waiting for proper confirmations. And don't forget, guys, we're in a falling wedge. And as you go to a lower time frame, look at this reversal candlesticks, how beautiful they are, man. And it would have been a beautiful trade for me to enter, guys. Like, it would have been very beautiful. But then also, I used price to also scale in as well. So this is the trade that I am in right now as we speak. I got triggered, which was based on this levels here. You see, I knew that if price can break through here, it will just trigger me in, and I was putting it above this candlestick here, so that if it is a rejection, it doesn't trigger me and go down with me again. Unfortunately, it broke through this resistance and continued to the upside, which is beautiful, very beautiful, very beautiful. So that's what here I was using the breakout method. I was using the breakout. As you can see, when I go to the lower time frame, you can see this is the candlestick I was talking about, and this is also the candlesticks I was talking about as well, put in part of the higher time frame. And you can see it hit this area and corrected. But now I know that this is it's looking for an uptrend. You understand? So I don't look at this as a rejection, but it could have been a potential rejection. You understand? But because I said I'm looking at buys, I know, okay, no, I want to take this to the upside, but I wasn't going to buy here because it rejected here. So if I had bought here, it could have continued going down. So I was like, you know what? Let me come to this high here. And if it is really, really a buy momentum, it will just trigger me into the market and go with me to the upside. And guys, I would have been really profitable in this trade if I had entered here and scaled in here, because look how I entered here, it never hit my stop loss. How I entered here, it never hit my stop loss. And also here, it never hit my stop loss, you understand? So now I'm just going to be patient. I'm not going to try doing anything fancy. I'm waiting for price just to get maybe around this levels here or this level here. Then that's when, you know, regarding this trade. So now this trade, those are invalid for now, but it's just showing us that, you know, if you want to scale in, which helped me be able to give me the confidence to get in this trade. So now looking at it, I'm just waiting for it to like just fill up maybe 50%, because this is 3 to 1, a proper 3 to 1, you know. So maybe if I get to like my 2%, I'll be able to take my risk off, take it to break even, and just wait for price to continue going up. Then that's when I'll push my stop loss to above my entry, so that I can secure some profits. So this is a beautiful trade all in all. I just wish I was more disciplined at this levels to be able to enter it properly, because we would have been making bank, heavy bank. So now I want to go to my indices. Just a quick overview of it. I won't really be going into it too much, no, because I wanted to enter it, but because, you know, structure is making new highs, you know, I didn't want to just buy, because like I said, here's a double top formation, a potential double top, which plus here you see we have our second touch as well. It could reject here and just continue going a bit down and go up, but I just told myself that, you know what, regarding NASDAQ 100, I'll let it continue doing its new highs, so that we can what do you call it, get a third touch of this resistance structure here. And once we get our third touch, I'll be able to, you know, sell here. So I'm basically waiting to sell, then let it come here to this level. And once it gives me a nice candlestick in terms of showing me a nice beautiful rejection, I'm going to take the buy and take it to the upside. But looking at my trading, I'm way better off buying than selling, because my selling rate is very low, whereby my buying rate is very, very high. But then yeah, man, I'm going to take it. I'm going to try taking it, because, you know, sometimes just because you failed and it's slow, it doesn't mean that you might be wrong here. It might go your way. So with NAS 100, I'm waiting for sells, then I'm going to sell. And if this is a rejection, which I highly doubt, because looking at how the candle broke through and closed above here, you know, it might continue coming for a third touch. So I'm going to wait for the third touch on the support and buy, third touch on the the resistance, sell, and then comes here, close positions and buy, go with it to the upside. Similar to US30, as NAS 100 is 100 companies, US30 is 30 of the 100 companies, you understand? So it is making new highs. I wouldn't want to take these setups, and I wouldn't want to take them, honestly. I think, let's see, on the first, which was yesterday, I honestly wouldn't want to take this, because I don't know, like I can say buy, but I don't know what am I going to buy until, you know, it's not telling me anything. So now I'll just wait for, you know, people to keep on buying and buying and buying and buying until the highs are set. Then once the highs are set, I'll be able to know that, okay, here's a support, here is a support. So it can give me a nice structure for me to be able to sell. And yeah, that's what I'm seeing with these are the top two indices I do trade. Then we go to GER30. In GER30, I would have bought here, because GER30 hasn't passed its high highs. So you understand, it would have been easier for me to buy here, because I know, okay, if I enter here, this is where I'll be going out, instead of buying and not knowing how high it will go, you understand, and being able to put my stop loss properly. And as you can see, and hearing how I trade, this is a beautiful hammer. Look at how that beautiful thing is, how that beautiful candlestick is. And look at my trade. If I had entered there, right, and put my stop loss here, and how I would have entered this, I was probably going to put it above here, put my stop loss just below here, and look at it's a 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio, which is great, guys. So this would have been an absolute amazing trade, but then I'm just glad that how I observed it is the way that it's coming about. So next time when I'm able and capable, this is what I know I'm going to take with ease. So we've come to the end of my analysis. I hope you guys find this very educative and you're able to see how I trade and how I go about planning my trades and my thinking towards it. If you didn't understand anything or you want me to clarify on certain things, do comment down below and I will certainly help you. And also do follow me on my trading on my Telegram group, guys, because that's where in real time I'm giving information of how I'm going about things. And you can see these trades that I am talking about, I did post them on my Telegram group before initially right now doing the video for you guys. So I really hope you found this very educative and very informative. From FxMosako, the CEO, peace out.